It's like, can we think outside the box for a second? Like, yeah, but you're gonna be better off with school. Like, life is gonna be hard for you if you don't go to school. Life has been either way, bruh. Like, let the sound hit the nation every Saturday night on your favorite radio. Hello, my Jammas. How you doing? How you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you very much. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. And I also want to say first that I respect teachers a lot and I love learning. Okay? Because I feel like the perception that people have of someone who says, I don't want to follow the path that has been laid before me of formal education, usually people get into their own minds and make their own assumptions and based off of things that they've heard or know about people. And I just want to say, from my perspective, I love learning and I love teaching. I feel like we're all students and teachers of life and of this life experience that we're all experiencing together at this moment in time. And I forgot what I was gonna say. And yeah, also I want to say that not all teachers, because some of them are there because they have like some power struggle thing that they want to like tell people what to do, what not to do. But I respect and love those teachers that are there to actually, because it's their passion, because they are curious themselves, and because they want to learn what they know. No, they want to teach what they know and learn together with the students as well. I know a lot of teachers that I had personally, oh, this bird. A lot of teachers that I had that also listened to the students when we had our own ideas of things and how things could be differently and stuff like that. So the reason why I'm choosing to go do self-studying, what I'm calling study of self, and if you don't understand that term, like study of self, I promise you will. But yeah, the reason why I'm choosing this way of learning is because I feel like the formal education system that we have in general is very ineffective for today's society and the society of the future. Things are moving faster and faster, and the schooling system is still very slow. And it's very limiting. For me, what the schooling system did was it kind of killed my curiosity, and I feel like it also was like stabbing at my individuality. And when I say that with individuality is because when we go to school and we're told to, okay, we're gonna write a text, everybody, and the text that we're writing has to follow this format, this layout. You have to write like this, that. And then we get marked on what it is that we write. And the thing is, it up and don't you know, pump it up. You're expected to write things in a certain format, and then you get marked on what you've written, what you've presented by an individual. And keep that in mind, okay? And then I'm going to go over to something else, but I'm going to come back to it. What I started my self-education with was psychology, because I've been really interested in psychology and specifically perception lately. Ooh. Yes. Should I turn the cam a little bit further down? Maybe it's better if you guys are closer. I was thinking I'd use the whiteboard, but maybe not yet. Okay, awesome. So what I was saying was perception, and I've written a definition of it. Okay, I found it right here. The context through which we receive and observe information and the frame encompassing our reflections or observations. With that, I mean, let's say if we're gonna turn perception into a physical thing, I would say that it's glasses. And your parents, where you come from, your parents are a product of their experiences as well, you feel me? So let's say your parents are the stem of each, like here's your mom, here's your dad, the link from your ears and to the glasses, what creates the glasses. And then there's you, and you are the glass. Bruh, I hope I'm not confusing you more. I'm trying to make it sound simple. I'm low-key confusing myself. But then you have your the circumstances in which you were born are the frames. This helicopter is so far away and you're making so much noise. Jag känner inte. Then the context in which you're born, the time and place, like 1942 in Greece. That's like the round and what's going on in that time and space at that moment. And then there's you. And let's say your experiences, first your glasses are clear and then they turn, you go through I don't know, domestic abuse, and the glasses turn more foggy. I don't know where I was going with that, honestly, but so perception is how you receive information when someone tells you that aliens exist. What are your past experiences? Have you seen a documentary that actually kind of convinced you that aliens exist? That would shape your perception. Everything shapes your perception. All experiences shape our perception. You receive information and then you observe information in your mind, and that is what your perception is. Okay? In my humble opinion. So, with that being said, wow. Jag glömde det. With that being said, when a teacher marks your paper, it is personal to that the teacher's perception is relevant to how they're gonna mark the paper. And for example, I have a really good example that my mom gave me. When she came to Norway, she had this Norwegian exam, and they had different questions where they were gonna write, like, they got a text of like an apple, what is an apple, kind of thing. And then they got, one of the questions was Adam and Eve, Adam och Eva, which is, and then, yeah, okay, Adam and Eve was the question. What do you relate to Adam and Eve? Vad relaterar du till Adam och Eva? And then my mom wrote the Bible, the first two people on earth written in the Bible. And then she got the paper back and she got it wrong. She got a mark wrong. And she went to the teacher and was like, what do you mean? Like, who else are you referring to? So the teacher was like, no, I was referring to Adam and Eve, the hair salon line brand thing, because there's a lot of hair salons with that name. It's almost like Sally's, just hair salon instead, you feel me? So because I have a lot of people from America watching, hello. So my mom was like, but that's not fair because I haven't lived in Norway, and how am I supposed to know that? Like, I don't go to hair salons, Norwegian hair salons, because my hair, you don't know what to do with my hair. And he was like, yeah, well, you're wrong. I'm still like, I'm not gonna change it. And that's a prime example of how perception is not considered really in public school, or not public, but in the formal way of in the formal education system. Bruh, I don't know what word to use for it. And like, I can't remember right now, but I remember I remember feeling so angry because I felt like what I wrote was true to me and the teacher was like being selfish kind of thing. But it's not selfish, it's just perception. Like we all have different perceptions of things. And to tell someone whether they're wrong or right is BS. And I feel like also the schooling what should I call it? Like the schooling system. I feel like the schooling system also has ruined a lot of people's like self-esteem. And I was talking about individuality, and that's what I mean with it. It's like, for me personally, I wrote a lot of texts differently. Like I would write and cut it very short, but I still felt like my points got across. And I was reading some of my old posts on my website. It's coming out soon, by the way. I'm working on it. I say it out there. And I could see where my mind was going, because sometimes, I think I've said it before, but sometimes I think very holistically, and then I have to break it down to like explain what I'm thinking about, you know? And sometimes, like I saw in some of the text, I kind of skipped some steps, because for me, I can get little information and get more out of it, I think, because I have relied more on myself than schooling system. Like for tests and stuff, I didn't read anything. I feel like I always relied on common sense or my intuition to guide me through, and I've always been like a medium student, and I feel like a lot of people do that. And also the fact that in Norway, education is free. In Sweden, education is free, and like children get free food. I remember we used to get free fruit and stuff as well. And then I go to Ghana and I see kids have to pay for their books from an age of 6-7 years old. They have to pay for their pencils, all the utensils. They have to pay for uniforms. And I'm just like, how does this make sense, bruh? Like, how does this make sense? And just comparing Norway and Ghana has always been rich on resources, always. And Norway just recently, like up until the 60s-ish, Norway didn't have oil, and Norway was poorer than what Ghana was at that time. Yet, if you look at like the statistics and how people are living in how the general population in Norway is living compared to how the general population in Ghana today is living, it doesn't add up. Like, it really doesn't make sense. And I'm just like, what? So for me personally, if I'm gonna do something, I have to believe in it, and I have to stand by it. Bruh, why are you playing games? Excuse me. So yeah, that's the reason why I started my self-education. And I'm gonna cut the video off here. I didn't use this, but I probably will in the next video that I'm probably gonna record right now. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you got some clarity of what it is I'm doing, and maybe it sparked a thought in you of doing something differently. I just want to do what feels true to me. I want to do something that makes me feel alive, something I'm passionate about. I don't want to, like, when people, especially family and like older family that are a little bit set in their ways, will ask me that, what school are you going to apply to? I'm like, what do you mean what school am I going to apply to? Is it a given that I have to go to school? It's like, can we think outside the box for a second? It's like, yeah, but you're gonna be better off with school. Like, life is gonna be hard for you if you don't go to school. Life has been either way, bruh. Like, life is not supposed to be easy. I'm not expecting it to be a dance on roses, which is a phrase in Norway. I don't know if that's a phrase in English, but I'm gonna use it anyways. And then there's also people like, oh yeah, you're gonna rely on your looks. I'm like, no, like, I've actually put in work in this YouTube channel. Like, I know it probably doesn't seem like much when you look at a 5-minute video, but a lot of time and dedication goes into it. And I feel like I've done so much internal work the past 2 years that is crazy. I feel like my confidence. Like the videos that I've been posting lately, I look at them and I get a little bit like, what happened? Like, when did I become this person that does not give? What happens, you know? But it's just like, every time I post a video and every time I become hesitant whether I should post it or not, because it's different from what people do, from what is considered normal, I just remind myself that I'm gonna die one day. Like, I'm not gonna be here forever. This doesn't really matter. Like, have fun with it. Have fun with it. If you're, for me, I'm like, if I'm gonna be alive, I wanna live. I wanna spend my time on earth living. I don't wanna be 80 years old and think, wow, I spent 20 years of my life doing something I hated just to get by. What does that mean? We have all the resources we need in the world. It's just the system that that has been around for so long, and I really understand that something new is scary. For me, is the same, but it's like you push yourself a little by little, and you just come to a point where I don't know. I feel like the video is so long, so I'm gonna stop it here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. Stay jamming, stay loving, stay living. All night. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. You can take it or leave it. You don't have to believe it.